today in Create. It's not your grandpa's creeper farm. Your grandpa's creeper farm probably would have worked much better. We have this mod that has creeper children in it, so we'll be harvesting the creeper children to make gunpowder. So we can shoot blocks in the form of a ship and then ride that ship around our island. People think using light magicka is cheating. This is straight up, I'm not even doing anything, the building just appears. Also, I'm happy to introduce you to the newest employee of the island company. Everybody, this here is Nichert Ratus, the newest in the boat operators, because guess what? The boat is actually a train, and in Create you can actually put somebody in a seat, like be it a zombie or another mob, and you can give them one of these train schedules, which they will then follow. So this boy over here is driving the steamboat William all the way around the island, stopping in two spots exactly. One is somewhere down here, and another one is somewhere like around here, which is the last place where he killed me also. Because somehow, despite being the conductor, you know, still hurts. Still, whoop. That's a no. Ah. Okay, yeah, I am so confused about what just happened there. Apparently, I dismounted him by right-clicking the seat under it. I like how the error message about it is like, driver has gone missing. That's not what happened. We just are very bad at it. Hey, can you please, yep, there we go. Please do not leave until I actually have had my stuff recovered. Yes, that does mean that it's stopping in the middle of nowhere, takes 5 seconds and then leaves again. Listen, I need at least 2 stations apparently to make him go in circle. Now, last episode I promised that we'll get rid of this and swap it for a much nicer, much beautifuler, much bigger ship. And I don't want to swap it necessarily. I actually kind of feel like we should leave this boy run around. But we will be building a separate boat today. And by building, I don't actually mean building. We will actually be delegating the building to this contraption here. A really cool thing called schematic cannon. It's just 2 blocks of iron, a dispenser, and some stone around it. How do I still not have a stone factory is beyond me. I have a cobblestone one, I have like 3 different ones. So, what's up with this schematic cannon thingy? Well, it's an apparatus that we need to provide a schematic to, and then, as long as we are also given it all the resources it needs, it will build the schematic for us. So, here's the schematic table, and here's a schematic that has my underside shop on it. I currently have it placed over here. And obviously, that's not where I actually want to build it. But that, you know, worry not. It's fine. Right now, it can't build it anyway because it's out of gunpowder. And even if I do provide it with some gunpowder, if I have any, it still won't build because, well, it needs to also know a checklist. And we got a checklist printer here, so we can get a book and get a checklist of all the materials needed for this build. Would a book and quill work? Nope, only regular one. And now, thanks to this written book that the cannon somehow outputted, we know exactly how much of what and how we need. Which, yes, I'm pretty sure in a more modern Create versions, we would have a whole entire cool thing going on, where it'd be like an actual checklist, where we could tick the boxes and everything. And also, I will not be building this underside shop because I don't actually need it. The thing that we want to build is the basket of that there ship up there in the sky. So first we will need to get up there somehow and get a schematica of it. Thank crap for my jetpack. A schematic exists basically made out of 2 points. One is the lowest most, or the other one is the highest most, and everything in between is gonna be encased in the schematica. Meaning that we not only need to extend here as low as possible, but maybe this would have been easier if I wasn't using slime blocks. Oh look, it's Nichert Ratus. There he goes. I love this mod, it's so cool. Okay, first position set. We do not need any of these, and yep, it keeps the position, so we can actually go ahead and just break all of them. And the second position is going to be by exactly here. And now I can save this as ship basket 0000 just in case. And if we can find our schematic table inside of our giant factory, then I'll be able to, oh, there it is. I'll be able to grab this. Nope, that's not what I meant. And get the ship basket schematic applied to it, written onto that particular blueprint. Oh wow, it's way longer than I anticipated. Okay, let's do it somewhere away from the thing, or from where we need it to actually be. Because truth be told, it's fine if it is. Because we will not actually be using it here. We will be gluing it all together, and as a contraption, moving all the way onto a completely different contraption and making it sneakily later into a train. So right now, this here boat is non-corporeal. It does not actually exist. But it will once the schematic cannon has its way with it. So let's feed the schematic cannon this particular blueprint and see how it goes. And we get a list of materials, and obviously we need to provide it now with gunpowder, which I'm actually a little bit short on. A little bit is not the right word for it. I'm completely out. Yeah, testing our TNT cannons a couple episodes ago, I ended up wasting all of our gunpowder on it, which is a little bit upsetting, but don't worry about it. I got a plan on where to get more gunpowder. I mean, obviously we're gonna get it from creepers, but sneakier than one might expect. So this here is from the mod called Savage and Ravage, and these are Creeper Spores. You see, when a creeper is blown up by an explosion, the creeper drops not only gunpowder, but also the Creeper Spores. And then, once you right-click the Creeper Spores, something incredibly adorable happens.
Whoa!
That's right. These are my personal army of creepies. And what creepies do is they kind of behave more or less like temporary pets. Very temporary, because as soon as I try to attack something, they will also attempt to attack it and blow themselves up. And also each other. And also I'm being chased by a grizzly bear now. That's an issue. And yeah, that's cool and all, but here's a thing about these creepies. A thing that we need to take advantage of. They can last quite a while, and within 20 minutes, they will become full-size adult creepers. Meaning all of the consequences of them being full-size adult creepers. Yep, they will attack you and they will destroy you. So, fun! In the meantime, I can get them to blow up this guy. Oh, that's pathetic. You could do so much better. There we go. That's my boy. And look, we don't even need to separate. Don't need to choose. We can just blow a creeper up and we get both the spores and the gunpowder anyway. So if we were to somehow automate the tiny creeper harvesting process, we'd get both spores and the gunpowder, basically exponentially, right? We know how to harvest them, we do have the hoppers to pick all the loot up, we can sort the loot into a gunpowder pile and the spore pile, and we then can use the spores to make more tiny creepers. The only question is, can we do that automatically? So here's a dispenser, and here's the creeper spores. Yep.
What?
That is remarkable! What a distance! Also, I don't think they're gonna be up. Yep, nope. They're coming right for me. Yeah, they are not aware that I'm their dad, probably. Yep, they're not aware that I'm their dad. They will try to kill me now because the dispenser is the one that actually made them. Ah! But other than that, I can absolutely not see how this can go sideways. If anything, this is gonna be one of my safer contraptions. Okay, so here's my plan. We are gonna spawn the creepies into this, because we need to somehow separate the tiny creepies from the big creepazoids. We'll be using the tried and true method of basically transparent blocks that are the gates, and then we'll be covering them with water. That way, if you are a tiny creepy, let's pretend that we are. Oh god, it applies the color first. That is so new. Okay, cool. So if you are a tiny creepy, you are down here, so you have no way of getting upwards. But then As soon as you grow up, you become 2 blocks tall. Creepers aren't actually 2 blocks tall, they're like a little bit shorter than 2 blocks. As soon as a creepy grows up, it will be head face into water. And when mobs are head face into water, they start jumping, meaning that the creepers will start floating onto this water, bobbing kind of like this. And then after they do, we're giving them a couple more layers of this just to ensure that all the tiny ones stay down there and only the big ones make it up. And then we will basically water pushing them all the way sideways to drop them off and, you know, have them killed in a kill chamber. It's gonna be really exciting and it's gonna be very vanilla, and oh my god, when the world is not painfully green, it's so much more pleasant to look at. And that made us stupid. This box that I created is 9 by 9, and Minecraft water when spilled only goes 8 blocks. That being said, I don't think it's gonna be much of an issue. I think we still can kind of push all the creepers out of this box later using regular fan. I'm sure there's gonna be other much more, you know, horrifying issues with this farm though, so look forward to that instead. Okay, this should suffice. I still need to install the fans, and we do need to create some sort of a chamber to collect and kill adult creepers. But until then, I do want to dispense a couple of these boys using a dispenser, just to see if that's gonna work out at all. Ah, look at him! Look at him, little guys. Yeah, they're so cute. Can't wait to murder them. So, yeah, I got 4 more. Let's go. Oh, look at them. Look at the little army. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple more. I mean, I will have to be a little bit more careful now, because they are already chasing me, and there's no way they're chasing me to hug. There's very little chance of them actually, you know, getting out of the enclosure. And also, I'll be fine. I'll just be very careful as I build up the adult creeper processing unit, which I now realize I only have 20 minutes to do because that's when they're gonna start growing up and exploderating me. Huh, I should have thought this through a little bit better. Oh, another cool thing about doing this farm this way is all of the tiny creepies still, even though nobody actually owns them, count as someone's pet. Meaning that I can go as far away from the island as I want, and the creepies will keep existing there. They will not despawn. Generally, yeah, I don't expect this to be as fast as even regular vanilla creeper farm, you know, the black box spawning one. But I do like that it will be more or less self-sustaining and not require any player interaction. Oh, there's been developments. There's been developments. I didn't even get to add all the fans before the creepies, they started doing their thing. If anything, this is gonna be one of my safer contraptions. And here's the thing. You see all those creepers that are like outside of the machine? Like decidedly not where they're supposed to be. That is an issue, but also that is not an issue with my design. That is an issue with the mode. So, what I didn't know and couldn't have predicted is that when the creepies grow up, they have an opportunity, let's put it that way, to phase through a wall that they're standing next to. Meaning that they don't just grow up, they actually more or less swap themselves for an actual creepers, and that creeper might phase through a wall! Ah! Which is exactly how you end up in this situation. Oh boy, that's a lot of potential gunpowder! Just walking around my town. Ah, no, don't chase me! Now, in all fairness, the same mod that makes the creepers look like this is the same mod that makes it so that when the creepers blow up, they don't really destroy terrain, unless they are deep in the caves. It's the logic that I more or less understand. But I still wouldn't like to take a full blast of this many creepers to my face. Actually, we don't need to despawn them, do we? Oh, yeah, baby! That's an opportunity. Alright. Okay. This is a happy little accident, let's put it that way. Because I wanted, originally, to blow up the creepers with dynamite. To make them produce the spores. But this incident actually reminded me of something very, very important and very, very cool. You see that pile of creepers? I just realized how we can get rid of all of them all at once. This is going to be the system that we'll be utilizing in the future. Check this out. If I just make myself a little sparse and I sneak up on them. No, that's not what I meant. Ah, that's not what I meant. But it is what I meant. The creepers, they can't be influenced by just lighting them with a flint and steel, which makes them explode. So we don't even need to make just like a giant conveyor belt to create dynamite. We can just simply apply the flint and steel to one creeper out of the bunch, and that will make it explode all its friends and drop the delicious, delicious spores and gunpowder. Oh, this is just great. This is wonderful. Ah! And I need to stop dying for like at least 10 seconds. Oh my god. Okay, after that disaster of harvest, we did end up with a tally of spores and gunpowder nevertheless. So we got 38 gunpowder, which is not much, and we got 64 freaking creeper spores, which is much actually. So this is viable-ish. It's at least at the rate that I'm okay having it. The primary concern here is that the creepies cannot be by a wall of the machine while they are growing up. And I'm not entirely sure that that's something that we can do, but maybe what we could do is lower the floor. This is so dumb. Make the floor a little lower and cover the floor in water. Water streams pushing the creepies away from the corners of the machine. This should help with the entity cramming as well. You know, the issue when if more than 24 entities are in this one block, they kinda start dying. We don't want having that. And hopefully, because of the sheer size of the initial spawning chamber, we'll be able to spawn in a lot of creepies all at once, so that waiting for them to grow up it becomes a little bit less of an issue. Right now we are at, I don't know, 38 gunpowder per what, half an hour? So that's 1 gunpowder a minute. This is just inconsolable rates. This is just sad. Oh, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening! The creepies became decreepered! The creepers are supposed to go into this hole here. I somehow forgot to put any water in that place. Wow. But hey, they're fighting their way there anyway, so that's kind of... Woo! That's kind of cool. Okay, so what did we just learn? The flint and steel pointed at a creeper with a deployer will explode it. So that's not an issue at all. And did that second creeper friend drop? Yep, it dropped some spores. So we are now officially in business. Can I put this water? I cannot, but I can probably lure these idiots all the way here. Yep, to drop down, get activated, and get bloated up. We just now need some sort of an automated way of transporting the gunpowder to where I can pick it up, and the spores all the way up to the dispenser. But also we need to figure out how many spores are we comfortable with spawning all at once within this farm. So I'm gonna start with a dozen. Let's see how that goes. Okay, 10 button presses later, and this is looking very promising. Only 2 creepies ended up being in the second layer. 3, 4, yep, they are somehow pushing each other up. Which is, again, not a problem, because they can't get any higher without either me motivating them, which is what's happening right now, or them growing up. So what I'm learning here is that 10 charges might actually not be enough. Let's spawn in more. Yeah, maybe it's time for a stress test. Here you go, have a stack of this stuff. What is the range on these tiny bastards? How are they tracking me all the way from up here? Oh dear god, this is... wow. This is somehow worse than the machine is supposed to do. Yeah, I feel that I need to change my deployment strategy. Because I'm pretty sure that what's happening right now is the spores, as they're being shot, they hit the tippy tops of the heads of all the other tiny creepers, and so the next batch spawns on top of the first one. Is this gonna work from a side? Ooh, look at that! That's so lively! I love it! Hey, how did you get out? A little bit too lively. Actually, no, that's... If anything, this is gonna be one of my safer contraptions. Alright, so what I'm realizing now is that these little suckers appear to not function the way they're supposed to. I went with the assumption that they are a block tall, or maybe just even a little bit less than a block. But obviously here, they are somehow able to phase into the higher levels, despite obviously not being able to reach it. One option here is that they are facing upwards, specifically because the water allows them to sometimes get to be higher than they're supposed to be. So the very same thing that's preventing them from phasing through the wall miraculously is also allowing them to phase upwards and just go through the farm as if they're adults. I don't understand how that works, because you just saw that the hitbox of these boys are way smaller than the, you know, the regular creeper. So how did this boy get up there? I have no idea. But with smaller amounts of creepies, I am actually getting a surprisingly sustainable amount of harvest. So maybe less is more in this particular case. After all, in my big batch, what happened is one big creeper blew up just every single tiny one, and tiny ones don't drop any loot, so I got cheated out of significant amount of gunpowder there. So while this prototype is doing whatever it is doing now, I actually can't get to the next stage of our main project, because guess what? The prototyping did in fact yield 60 gunpowder. And that doesn't sound like much, but hey, look at this. That's plenty. That is 23,000 blocks that this thing can now shoot. We just need to give it a nice chest to draw material from. Love me a nice chest. And for some reason it immediately decided to start with the slime blocks. And now it wants the dark oak. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I should probably go check the checklist. I need like 5 of these just firing, but actual explosive at actual people. And we're about to be completely done. I did not move a finger to build this. This is incredible. I mean, yeah, I did have to fetch it items all the times, and half the time the items for some reason were specifically like oak trapdoors. I don't know. Apparently I just can never craft enough of them. Right now it wants a net rope, and I think that I'm just gonna, honestly, just looking around, I'm just gonna tell it to not, you know, like, what if I just abort any and all future building, be like, hey darling, no, we don't need that anymore. You can go home. You can go here. I'll pick all of this up sometime later. Right now, I wanna pick up something much more bigger and much more exciting. We got the entire ship done. Wow. I mean, yes, we do not have still the sails, which is not entirely the best, but also maybe I won't even want sails on this ship for the time being, because, well, we do want it to be a little bit more industrial looking. The trick there, of course, is that we already have the, you know, the pirate sign on the back, so maybe industrial look is just not gonna happen. The most important part really is, let's see if we can pick it up in the first place. I don't think that 18 charges of this glue stick is gonna be enough to put together this whole entire thing. And also, Steamboat William somehow went missing. What the heck happened there? He's missing. Obviously. Alright, I think I glued it all together. I don't see any obvious holes at the very least. So let's see if I can get this show on the road. Boats don't go on roads. Heh! Oh, okay. Fair enough. It's not like we needed those, but, there's a cabin on the nose. Yeah, we probably needed that. Okay, now it should all be packaged up, yoinked. And yeah, me figures that all of these like remaining blocks we can absolutely put together at a later time. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Look at it! It ended up being on the exact level! On the exact level with the shore. Let's see how it looks from the side, because... No, absolutely! It is not where you don't want it to be. It is definitely up. Like, you look at this, you don't immediately go, this should be lower in the water, which is what I was afraid of. This is literally a dream coming true. Like, if you rewatch the entire series, I'm pretty sure that first or second episode, I say that I want to build a really cool ship, just going around this thing, going around the island, stopping every now and again. And now we've did it. Alright, let's see, can we finally assemble this into a train? Yes! I'm gonna name it the ship, because it is the ship. And let's see, can I pilot it? Yes! Oh, my big boy! And we immediately crashed into the other train. Cool. Cool, wonderful. I forgot that we had the tiny boat. Where is it though now, is my question. I think it's inside us. It's my first ever train collision, so good job everybody! Literally happened exactly the moment. Like, as soon as I got the second train, I collided it with the first one. I am somewhat proud of myself, to be completely honest with you. Now, obviously, the coolest thing is going to be having two of the trains successfully circle the island without interfering with one another, because we got something really beautiful going. And I will need to modify this design anyway, by the way. I will have to add like an engine, maybe some water wheels, some way for this to propel itself more industrially around the island. And of course I'll need a new steamboat William. Rest in peace Mychart Ratus. He was frustrating. And in the meantime we also got ourselves a very wonky but hilarious source of gunpowder, which I need to provide more flint and steel for. If you got any ideas or suggestions on how to make this a little bit more viable and make a little bit more sense, do leave them in the comments. I am genuinely stumped as to why any of the creepers are getting out or getting between the layers. See you next Friday, and I hope that you'll enjoy the movie cut number 2 coming out next week.